There we go. So I was just saying to Sheila and Lynn, I'm a carer. So whilst this is going on, I might get a ding dong from my wife. So I disappear for a short while and then come back. So, just so you're ready. So
It's always exciting when you disappear through the picture.
I know I just disappear. That's the alchemy, isn't it? Yeah. So and it's been an interesting. Well, it's always interesting, isn't it? The energies that are floating around. But I've been watching all of the various bits and pieces um, about this. Hi, oh, we're nearly there. Um, yeah, this Atlas, the
Three
Three Eye
Atlas, Three
Atlas.
Eye Atlas.
There's so many videos that people are sending me saying, "Oh, you've got to watch this," and they've all got a slightly different angle or flavor. And the last one was I was watching. I only got halfway through because it was about 2 hours long, and I was shouting at the screen in the end, "Get on with it! Tell me what you're telling me!" Because it was like, what I'm going to tell you is devastating. You're really, and you think, go on then, tell me. So it took forever, but it's apparently it's a ship and there's some amazing being on there that's toured like the whole universe and has come back and he's going to enlighten us all. You think, well, fabulous. So that'll be nice. So yeah, interesting. But I've just got a sort of a zing from it, or a zap I called it, where I sort of touched my source, and then I touched Atlas, and then it came in, and it zinged into into me and into the earth. So I thought, well, that seems to be fitting with what people are saying it's here to do, to enliven us or uh, our DNA and whatnot, which is nice. Um, but anyway, is there any other topic that you'd like to cover before, because what we normally do is the same as with Solera, we'll line up and see what wants to come in.
I
Lynn.
mean, I think it's related because I'm just sensing that everything is changing so quickly, and it's like I don't need to put my hand up, do I? Lower hand there. That it's almost like I don't know where my ground is anymore. I don't know anybody. I don't know who I am anymore. I mean, it's like I feel I'm totally out of sync with what other people think is normal. It just doesn't affect me. And then I'm still sort of, yeah, I don't know if other people have it like that. It feels like the whole ground is shifting underneath me.
Mm. Yeah, I must admit, I'm much the same. And it's sort of like after one conversation. So I'll have it all. I'm here. This is it. I know I've touched it there, or I'm touching it here, or wherever wherever the local, wherever it is in the moment. And then I'll have a conversation, and somebody will say, "Have you done this? Or have you met this?" And then all of a sudden I'm floating around again because I've lost the. It's
Yeah,
almost like you lose the channel.
exactly. And it's like I can't so easily find my own channel
That's
anymore.
it. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like I get so distracted by everybody else's, and then it bores me, and then I'm missing my own channel. I think that's a good way of putting it.
yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Uh, and sometimes it's sort of because it's changing so rapidly. I mean, my normal tune in, if you like, didn't wasn't working. So what I've been doing, and I was reading another one of Rebecca Dawson's books. This one's called Foo, and it's very again very technical. But one of the descriptions is to do with the breath. And the in breath takes you to source, and then the out breath is creation, and then in breath back. So it's all about returning, it going out and returning, going out. And so that was what brought me back, actually. Yeah, there we are. And so yeah, just another technique, but it seems that the breath seems to be very significant at the moment. Um, um, but being aligned is good. So on that note, shall we just line up and then see what, because the sense I got from just now was whatever it is, it's significant, it's big, that wants to come in. So let's go for it. Let's tune in, see what's. How are we doing? That was expansive, um, initially, I was sort of doing the breath that I just described, and then I found myself here and just expanding. Everyone on on the call was also in that expansion. And then I just sat with that flow for most of the time, just not noticing anything in particular, but just how easy, comfortable, you know, very joyful it was. And then right at the end, and this is always happens with me, a little voice says, "And what about the love?" Which then I said, "Oh yeah." And so then I went, "Love," and it went, and when it does that for me, it just amplifies like whoosh. If it was a one before, it goes to a 10 or 11. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
super.
Yeah, it's just interesting because at the end I was sort of, so what is, so then I took in everybody. Maybe that was when you said, when you were doing that, I was just connecting to everybody and the room expanded as well. That's, so it's interesting.
Looks like Aunt Peggy's just coming in. Hello.
Hello.
So,
Yeah, we've only just started, Aunt Peggy, so that was just our first lineup we just done there. So yeah, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that was me. Yeah, Sheila.
Um, so the breath has always been the way I've connected to myself, my higher self, my loving self, my expanded self. Um, so I was, doing that again, and then I have an experience of sort of breathing with the whole planet, all the plants and trees and sky and water, and we're all breathing, and we're all together there. Um, and then there's this one person that in my life, actually, is a friend of my husband's, that kind of pops up, and he's always annoying to me. And he popped up in there, and I'm like, oh, okay, allowing. I need to allow. I need to allow this person to to be who he is and just do what he is, and maybe forgive him for being, the stuff that annoys me. um, so that was wow, that was good.
That's great. Anyone else?
I'll share.
Yeah.
I too work with the breath a lot. I also find listening to the heartbeat, just tuning into your own pulse, is another way um, that is very supportive of working with the breath and really brings you back within to your physical heart that then opens. And I also went today to something I call the tree of all life, which has infinite roots and infinite branches. So it was a big way of connecting. And then going back to the breath and the body, I had this image of the body being the node, the center point of a figure eight that intersects with the infinity sign.
Mm,
And that is just standing at that point, we are connected to all and self first. So,
that's amazing. Because if you look at Anne Peggy's design there, that's the center of your design, isn't it? Divine design. We've been talking about infinity and how that works. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's incredible. I love that. Yeah. Anyone else? No? Well, it feels to me like there's something more, and particularly now Anne Peggy's joined us. I think there's the feeling there was that was like the connection. That's us tuning in, if you like, to our, you know, joint frequency, whatever that might be, or the frequencies. But there seems to be something. There's there's definitely. I always get, almost like a hint going on behind me that will let you know if you get there, kind of thing. So yeah. If only some people, they come out and they just say it, don't they? Whereas I have to sort of, oh, I wonder what they're kind of saying. Yeah, yeah. One day, I'll speak so fluently you'll think, well, what's he on? Yeah. Anyway, meanwhile, shall we just line up again and see what else there is now that we're feeling that. I'm just feeling that's the beginning of another wave of something consciousness.
Can I say something?
Yeah, 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 go.
Just when you was just when you were saying like, oh, I love to go speak so fluently that other people think, what's he on? I thought we could tune into the universal ecstasy because it's present. And if you're in universal ecstasy, you're on universal ecstasy, and it speaks through you directly from your frequencies. So yeah,
Right, yeah.
that's at least that's calling me now. Now that you are telling this to tune into the universal ecstasy, I
Oh,
couldn't
yes.
tune into anything around, but this is feeling something for me to invite
Okay.
it into the body.
Well, then,
But whatever calls to you. I thought
ecstasy sounds good.
that was hanging behind your bed,
Good.
the
All right.
universal ecstasy. But then you're definitely gonna be a weirdo in day-to-day life. So be aware if you want to go there. Just
Okay.
kidding.
Let's tune into ecstasy then. Well, why not? Eh? Let's do it.
Universal, the universal or source or whatever calls to you, or love or whatever, but the ecstasy.
So if I go first, I'll where we started well where we ended last time with the sort of big love. That's where I started next. So this one. So it was already pretty powerful. And I continued to do the imagery, if you like, was the out the in breath, going past all of creation. So all of the planets, all of all the cosmos, way out, beyond, beyond, beyond. And I read somewhere that they're all firmaments. So I don't. I'll go out beyond the firmament. I can't even say it, so I won't do that again. So we went all the way out and then all the way back, all of it aligning and being acknowledging that it's all our creation, if you like, back to here. And then I was sensing, like we were saying, that going out into the into nature, everything part of this breath of our creation. And particularly then I was aware of the water. We've been talking a lot in some of the calls about how water is such an important element, if you like, of the conscious or consciousness as it's becoming more available to us. And there was an exchange there. I felt an exchange, an acknowledgement, the consciousness of water sort of saying, yeah, yeah, and then handing, there's a sort of like two-way codes passing, whatever. Yeah, but just just a sort of a yeah, yeah, we're there. That's what we do. So very much a feeling of alchemy taking place, without being able to necessarily put my finger on exactly what that was doing, but I felt that the new was flowing through. Um, and it's another one of those, the sense is that we're not trying to do anything to the old, because that's already, that's it's almost like as soon as the new comes in, you don't have to worry about any of the old because it's not, it's not a thing anymore. And I was getting, just concentrate on what it is you want and let that flow through. So that was, yeah, yeah, very nice. And I loved the energy that we jointly were creating there because I know doing this on your own is quite, you can get quite a lot of energy flowing, but with a group like this, it's fabulous. So yeah, brilliant. Anyway, what you get?
Well, I'll share.
Okay.
You kind of eyes closed writing, so I can't always read what I wrote that came through. Um, but I really felt a resonance with Sheila's comment about allow, and a message, a number of messages came through from one I play with regularly, that I call Infinite Mother. Um, that we are revealing to ourselves new ways to play together, from the field of wholeness, be in joy and delight. You don't need to know where the miracles go. Simply open the spaciousness to allow them in, and they will go where they need to go. And then I was also prompted to share a dream that I had in the dark of Sunday morning, early, which was this image, and I sense that it is, that it's for more than me. But I was a person standing on a bus full of people and in the aisle, and really looking into someone's eyes who was trying to cause harm, and just being that space that we have been experiencing together of the infinite, of the creation, of the grounded and centered in earth and cosmos both, these are all my relations. These are all my relatives. Like you can't harm any of my relatives. And it was not something I would normally think I would be doing. And I also just have this sense that energetically and frequency wise, if this is our stand and our message and our rootedness and our conviction that water is our relative, the mountains are our relatives, as well as the human family and the mammal family and, every family you can choose. So they're all our family. They all have consciousness, is kind of what you've touched on,
Mm.
Colin. And that is a stance and a grounding and a centering that is going to start to open those spaces for the spaciousness, for miracles, even more miracles to come in. So, thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Lynn.
It just inspired me what you said, because I've been taking in the energies of Israel today, of all the hostages that were freed, and the enormous polarities that are all around me. And in this country, there was a football match yesterday in Norway, between Israel and Norway, and they had more police there than they've ever had for a football match, and people were demonstrating against. So it was like, and I've been just standing in the energies of that, in the in between all day. It's like I can take all of it in, and it feels that that's what you were sharing, Bobby. So that's why it sort of reminded me of, okay, so that's maybe what I'm doing. I'm just trying to stand in that in between space where I'm just holding it, and you're all part of me, but I cannot take sides. There's no sides here to take.
Yeah, yeah. It's the end of polarity, isn't it? It's the end of duality, and we're bringing that presence, if you like, of what it's like to not be there. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
use better words.
And I feel all kind of energized after this
Mm.
what we did just now.
Peggy, you put your hand up.
Yes, and already when we went into it, Alette said that ecstasy, she mentioned the ecstasy, and when I have worked with this, is the first, for a long time I used ecstasy, and then I went into what is it for me to live with ecstasy. And then through this came heart-centered symphony. So the last year I have said I live through heart-centered symphony, for this is the kind of the new terms for ecstasy. And I have just come out of a ceremony for several days. I have initiated a lot of women to live like in heart-centered symphony. And one of the women had experienced a lot of trauma. Of course, all of us have different trauma, but one had more than others. And um, I did, when we were together, we were a lot of women. Um, we worked deep, and behind the scenes, there were one of them who had so much trauma, got it out, so she wasn't so friendly behind the scenes, and there was a lot of drama. So today, after the ceremony for several days, people had given me feedback what she did. And I was like, okay, I know that she's traumatized and how to hold her in love. So all of us have worked very deep to hold her in love, because this is an indigenous trauma. It is kind of the Sami, the indigenous collective trauma, and the yeah, how it comes out kind of because she's such a beautiful person, but her ancestor trauma still there. And some said, what are she doing in this community? But we need kind of so this heart-centered symphony to hold it wherever we are in our process, because she's in her process to becoming this homo luminous. I call it living as homo luminous. And how can we embrace it all and help each other from the old to the new kind of. So, and when I aligned up, I saw one eye, the single eye. So that also became the symbol, the living with a single eye. Yeah.
Mm.
And I love the dream Bobby shares. It's like, yeah, thank you. That's what I have been in the whole long weekend.
Thank you. Yeah. Sheila, yeah.
I saw the single eye too. It's I don't normally go there, but I was just being, and it was just there. It's like, okay, what? Okay, awake, aware. We're getting aware. We're becoming aware, more and more and more and more. And I wanted to share too that I was called. Speaking of the waters and my relationship with the waters, I've been sharing with you guys a lot. I spend a lot of time in the swimming pool in the summer and just hanging out in the water. And our pool closed like a couple of weeks ago. And so I was called to a hot springs, not very well, about 3 hours north into Canada from where I am. And my husband and I went and we just hung out in this wonderful hot spring at a lovely hotel too. And I was just so moved by how everyone that got into the water was lovely with everyone else. We were all happy and comfortable, and everybody wanted to share and talk, and we didn't know each other at all. But I mean, before, but we were just, everyone was, you know, Canadians and Americans and Chinese and lots of different people. And we were just all being there in the water, loving the water and loving each other. And it was profound. The waters were just healing us all, the world. I didn't think that at the moment. I was sort of loving just being there with the people in the water, but now I'm seeing it was healing.
Magic. Yeah, it's magical.
Mhm.
Yeah, beautiful. Mm. Okay. So that was quite. Oh, Alette, do you want to say
So
something? Sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
a bit slow every time, sorry. Um, I like this heart-centered symphony. And 4 years ago, I was making a drawing of a eye in the heart, like looking from the heart's eye. This is somehow, while both of you are calling about the eye, I feel like that was 4 years ago, and that I was also very much with the symphony of the heart. And when the symphony in the heart is there, it's also touching the symphony of other hearts.
Mm.
Now indeed, I was in Africa, and I also was in the Gambia. And to be honest, I have a bit difficulty to integrate the experience because it went from the heart symphony also into seeing all this pain and being around people that are wanting to move on, but are not understanding where they are caught up. And finally, also me, I got caught up in the story myself as well. But I felt also, I don't know if this is, yeah, I think also with Israel and with other countries where so much things is happening, I feel like we are, closing an era where so many things want to leave the planet in order for us to be more in our heart symphony. But even if aware, for me at this very moment, not always easy to release these frequencies that are not buying into these stories and stay in your heart-centered symphony to let it release, because I think this is a period where a lot of these things are releasing, they're showing up to be released. So sometimes, yeah, for me, universal ecstasy is the best way to go there, or heart-centered symphony, to also let these old violences that are showing up be released and not be embodied again. For me, it's not always easy, because sometimes the shift is going very, very fast from deep-seated love towards the whole world in turning around when some things are happening into another nervous system. So, but sharing this is already sometimes that is something that is relieving, because there was so much love there as well, but also so much that wanted to be saved by me, and I'm very having difficulties not to buy into this. That's an old program that was not dissolved somehow. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, for me, it feels like a time that a lot of violence can be released permanently, for us to be born in something else, which has to do a lot with us as a humanity coming together in such a different way to each other, but also towards the earth that has been a little bit exploited as well, of course. So yeah.
Okay. Well,
Thank you
thanks
for
very
being
much.
together.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, great. I mean, there's so many different experiences, but we seem to have a theme of release. That's certainly been a theme for me this last few weeks as well. And not necessarily I'm conscious of what I need to release, but it was prompted, and I just said, okay, I release everything. I release all my contracts, or all lifetimes. Yeah, let's do that sort of thing. So yeah, I think we've all on similar journeys, but slightly different prompts. And I wonder if we do one more lineup, if that's the theme for that is to bring all the go back and bring all this in, but allow ourselves to release whatever may or we may be conscious of or not conscious of. Just allow that to go, and be with the energy as it flows through. And if anything does crop up, just, oh yeah, there we go. It's on its way. It's that we've done that one now. Thank you. If there's any, because there's, for me anyway, I notice it doesn't matter where I am. If I touch a new energy, something always nudges me to say, "Oh, you haven't got rid of this one yet." There's always like some deep-seated something, even if it's not from this lifetime. So yeah, yeah. You okay with that? Hi, Peggy.
Can I ask a question to that? Because it is so interesting that I send out this, because I have gotten a lot of feedback today, because we had this heart-centered symphony, like this high vibration, but one of the participants kind of felt like Judas, what do you call it
Ah,
in
yeah,
Judas?
Judas. Yeah.
Yeah, and that she doesn't fit in. How do we meet her? So if I asked, and then I was shown kind of what Jesus did. He knew that Judas was Judas, but he allowed. So I asked, okay, I want her to be with us, but she is harming some of the participant. How to? I will have a talk with her, but I don't want to hurt her, because she is in the transformation and she carry a lot of deep trauma. So I'm just also asking, can we maybe for how to meet this, as also Bobby said, this because yeah, she was her for a reason, even though people said that what she did this, she did that, she didn't do anything with me, but others.
Okay. So there's a release and there's an allow in there. Does that?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. We good with that? Right. Let's do it one more time then, and let's see how we go. Okay. Wow. There was some very moving experience there. I found um, the two words quite powerful, actually. The release initially, and then when the allow was coming through, it wasn't so much allow for everyone to be themselves, which obviously I'd love them to be, but it was more to do with allow myself to be this, which seems to be a lot of people are saying, do the work on yourself and the rest will take care of itself. It just felt that, and I wrote it down because the first one, which those of you who know me will know that's my thing anyway, but it was allow myself to be this much love. And it net it's wow. I still mean wow. And then allow myself to be this present. So again, one goes with the other, but it's being present is another one of those magical things that we can do for the planet. And the other one was allow myself to be here. It sounds obvious, but here we are. But yeah. And then that was just, yeah. And then it was, yeah, I'm here. And joyful, ecstatic, all those lovely words. Yeah. Hmm. What'd you get?
I also had just an incredible feeling. It was tingly, almost energy in my body, and beyond, way beyond my body. I knew myself to be way beyond this body. And it was all just so incredibly alive, just incredibly alive, and ecstatic. Thank you, Ilette. Wow, just awesome. And thank you, everybody else that created that energy. Wow.
Lynn.
So I was reminded with what you were saying, Colin, that I think which has become more and more aware, and I had a conversation even with Solera on Friday, that what shall I say, not working with, but what I'm learning to allow is to stand in my sacredness, in the sacrality of my beingness. And just now, today and tomorrow, I'm working on a little presentation that I'm going to be on a board in the university. It's based on a book about interreligious conflicts between Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. And I want to bring it up into that. It's got to do with daring to be in our sacrality and not. And yeah. So thank you for saying that. It's about allowing. It's really working on the allowing, and that's what I've been doing too. Yeah. So that was helpful. Thank you.
Hello?
I can feel you very much when you tell that you feel your sacredness. I can feel that very strong if you come from there somehow. And another thing I've been playing with a lot as well is the religions, also these three ones. I also been in Egypt and in other places. And to me, I feel like sharing. I don't know, maybe it's bringing something up. When I was in Egypt, I felt so much also the tree of life and the roots, and that these three religions are having the same roots but different branches, but that they are also coming from an old pain of Atlantis. That's what been shown for me so often. I don't know why, but I wanted to share here because it may be released, and somehow you may invite you are invited to invite even more of this sacredness. And I've been playing a little bit with the same when I was in the Gambia, because there was so much love, but there is also the Islam. And I had, to be honest, there was a disgust within me towards the Islam, which was immense. I have never had that like before. And I felt more like it was a mechanism that wanted me to hold me back from the love, just another egoic trick. But it worked pretty well, which was a shame. But
Go a minute. So
but it was also shown that if we stay in this heart-centered symphony, we are able to take out the sacredness of these religions as a pathway. Or I don't know, as for me, it was more within the Gambia, it is the people are with the Islam, but they're also very much still with their nature connections. So there's an interesting mix up. And then with the colonialism, so it was an interesting layering of staying heart-centered. But for me, I was so triggered by the Islam somehow. And at the same time, it's been shown to stay in the heart-centered symphony in order for just let it be what it is, you know, and feel the love that is there present. And that's it. Yeah, I don't know. It was very strong. So, yeah, but this Atlantis and these three religions and the sacredness, I can feel a lot of this sacredness wants to come back to us, you know, and not the religion any longer fighting, not this, whether it's in ourselves or in the outside worlds, but yeah, I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Right, sorry I disappeared there. Meanwhile,
I'm happy you're back. Hello.
you didn't even notice I'd gone, did you? Anybody else want to share with that last one? Got a few minutes. And Peggy.
I resonate very with what Alette said, and also what you, Colin, said. I got the same almost as you shared. It's like, yeah, being present, going from head to heart, because when we are in the heart, it is kind of the holder, the sacred holder of everything, and is in this we can release. So the more that we go from the head to the heart, then we release. So it's like, and also the single eyes once, because I haven't seen the single eyes so much. It's like came again, and if we see each other through the single eyes, everything kind of is heart centered symphony. So it was again the single eye, and all is kind of releasing through the single eyes. If we see each other from the eyes of the soul, the single eyes, as we all have, in present, being here and now.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just riff very briefly on what has unfolded so far. And during our time, this last segment, the single eye came to me in the center of the womb space, or the second chakra, which is the eye seeing through the lens of wholeness that includes our embodiment. And that somehow that, for me, the deepening into embodiment from that space is a place that connects me in a different way to that flow of the infinite. I feel an eternal flame in my heart, which is one connection, and certainly in one that is more commonly experienced, I think. But to feel the inner wellspring flow, like the flowing waters through my second chakra area, with that single eye again that showed up for me as well this time. um, deepens the embodied connection with the infinite, which is love, which is pure consciousness, pure love. So
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mm. So how are we doing? Are you happy now with I need to close now because I've left my wife somewhere.
Thank you.
Colin, for pulling this together. Thank you so much.
Well, you're very, very welcome. And what we're going to do is repeat this every second Monday at this time of the
Cool.
month. All right. So you'll be very welcome to join again.
Mm.
Yeah, lovely. Well, thank you. Thank you all. It's been an absolute joy.
Thank you, Colin,
Magical.
for allowing.
All right. See you next time.
Yeah.